Airlines are resuming normal schedules today after the FAA lifted flight restrictions at 40 major airports. Now, the agency says it's seeing improved safety trends and fewer staffing issues at air traffic control facilities following the government shutdown. The FAA had limited flights since November 7 due to safety concerns and staffing shortages at air traffic control facilities. The restrictions affected thousands of flights at major hubs, including New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, and Atlanta. Scripps News investigative correspondent Patrick Terpstra live in Washington. And Patrick, airspace officially returned to normal, we understand, at 6 a.m. this morning. What do we know?
That's right, Holly, and just in time for the Thanksgiving travel rush that begins, of course, next week. So far, only 42 flight cancellations today for any reason. 42. Compare that with 3,000 flight cancellations about a week ago. Still, even though this government shutdown is over, this shortage of air traffic controllers will go on. 14,000 air traffic controllers work to keep planes safely separated, but there's a need for 3,000 more people to fill these crucial jobs. The number of trained eyes monitoring the skies has been falling for years. A congressional study this summer showed a lack of controllers at major airport hubs, including Atlanta, Los Angeles, Dallas. Controllers have been working mandatory overtime and 6-day work weeks. Even before the shutdown, airlines had been scaling back flights during peak times to avoid traffic delays.
We have not trained enough people to be air traffic controllers over the past 15 years.
Karen Fye at the Georgia Institute of Technology says for years, Washington hadn't focused on backfilling controllers required by law to retire from the intense job at age 56. Unless granted an exception to work until age 61. Making matters worse, previous government shutdowns, hiring freezes, and the pandemic, all slowing the long process of training at the Air Traffic Academy in Oklahoma City.
Training has often been lumped as a non-essential service, and so therefore we stop training people at the training center in Oklahoma, and it makes this huge gap so that people just don't come out in the numbers that we need them to come out.
This summer, Scripps News got behind-the-scenes access to the training academy and saw another reason it's tough to staff up. A high rate of students fail to make it from the classroom to the control tower. The job requires unrelenting focus and ability to multitask with lives on the line, all while using tech from decades ago or older, including paper strips and floppy disks. Add to that a shortage of trainers to teach the next generation of controllers. We still aren't at a point where computers can successfully keep planes separate and safe.
No, I think you're always going to have the human in the loop separating the airplanes. It won't be in my lifetime that we will have AI clearing someone for takeoff.
Ever since the deadly January collision of a passenger plane and Army helicopter in Washington airspace, the Trump administration has focused on hiring more controllers, offering bonuses for those willing to stay on the job longer. And Fye says the cancellations caused by the shutdown may inspire more action to finally staff up air traffic control.
There is not a short-term, next 24 months kind of fix, but I do think some strategic changes could have some very lasting impacts and would make the whole system more robust.
A system under strain, even with the shutdown over. And unfortunately, it's also the case that the shutdown may have long-lasting impact. According to the Transportation Secretary, Sean Duffy, 15 to 20 air traffic controllers retired every day during the shutdown. That's a huge spike. It's a number that we've tried to really drill down on and get more information from the Transportation Department and the FAA about. So far, haven't had a response to that, Holly.
Wow, that's a big number. All right, Patrick, is it possible, though, that travelers might still experience delays because of air traffic control issues, especially going into a holiday week? Absolutely. One of the things that's so interesting is that these delays because of air traffic control staffing actually happen all the time, but you might just not know about it. Sometimes a flight might be delayed and you might hear the pilot or the person at the gate say that it's an air traffic control issue. Chances are that is actually a staffing problem because there's a shortage of staff at air traffic control towers
all over the country. So if there's a particular day when a number of people might be sick and they're trying to balance schedules, there might even be a ground stop at some of these airports. So even though these mandatory flight cancellations are over, these challenges related to air traffic control persist. Holly.
All right, Scripps News investigative correspondent Patrick Terpstra live for us. I guess with your advice there, knowing what's coming will all pack some patience as well. Thanks for your extensive reporting.